Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ritchie. I think people are going to start loading in, so we will get started here in just a few minutes. Have not seen Scott enter yet, but wanted to get rolling here and let people file in. We've got 128 people registered today for our webinar on Facebook marketing, and Scott has got some great stuff for us, so you're definitely in for a treat. While we're waiting for Scott to show up, and boy, I sure hope he's not having trouble since I know he is halfway around the world. And if we got our time zones goofed up, this is going to be a really short broadcast, but hopefully he'll be jumping in here with us. Scott Rawcliffe, just to give you a little background on him, actually is a fitness professional now in Australia, and I won't give away where he's from because you'll notice he doesn't have an Australian accent. But he is he's going to be speaking at our summit in Phoenix in a couple of weeks, and I wanted to do a little preview. So hold on, he's messaging me. I'm going to pause here for just a second. Okay, great. Scott is getting on. I'm going to put up our first poll because Scott and I are definitely interested in how many of you are presently using Facebook. So really simple poll here. Are you presently using Facebook to market to your clients or prospects, or are you not? So it's kind of a yes or no. Hey, Scott. Scott, can you hear me? So I can't hear you, Scott. Not sure if our attendees can. Okay. All right, great. So so far, it looks like 30% of you are using Facebook, but 70% of you are not using Facebook. So you're in for a real treat. Scott, if you can hear me, I just put up a poll. Looks like 2/3 of our attendees today are not using Facebook at all. So that's great. And we've got 130 people registered today. So that's really cool. Obviously, people are interested in Facebook marketing.
Yes. Can you hear me, Dan?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Yes.
Excellent. Yes, very good. Very good. Are you in Australia at the moment? I know you said you were going to be flying.
I'm in Australia right now. It's 3:04 a.m. in the morning.
3:04 a.m. Well, you picked this time, so it's not my fault.
I did, but no, because I have to jump on a flight at like 6 a.m. To fly down to Sydney. So I was like, it's got to happen. I got to get it in here somehow. So 3 o'clock almost. It's kind of late enough where it almost sounds like it's like the next day. It's not like last night still.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, great. Well, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself? I told them you were in Australia, but you would not sound Australian, which is quite obvious.
Well,
so.
I can do a little bit if anyone, because anytime I come over to North America and speak, and people sometimes get disappointed because they thought I was Australian, I can give them this one. And my clients have tested it. They've given a thumbs up. It's "G'day, mate. How you going? My name's Scott." That's about all I can do. After that, it goes really bad. So I grew up in Canada. I lived there till I was like in my mid-20s. Did a little bit of travel. Met my girlfriend, and then somehow we ended up here. She's Australian, so we lived here for about 10 years. I've always been like a probably similar to you, a bit of an exercise geek and kind of movement geek, and kind of love, all my textbooks and stuff like that. And kind of how I got into Facebook was really just by accident almost. I was like, okay, I'm starting to speak a lot. I'm, speaking an idea and stuff like that. And I said, I think I need to figure out this Facebook thing because, it looks like it probably, will help me out a lot with what I'm trying to do. And by the looks of it, I'm probably the only one that doesn't know how to use it. So bought a couple like courses to kind of look into a little bit more, and then got just hired someone to kind of help me out a little bit, who, was just kind of by chance. I didn't realize how good he was, but he would help like Infusionsoft and Nike and stuff like that with their campaigns. And then he was telling me he's like, you should help trainers with the Facebook stuff. I was like, no. You don't understand. Like, I'm this trainer geek. I like training. Like, I don't want to talk about this stuff. And then kind of that kept going on. And I, was getting friends asking me for help and kind of some more high level people. And then finally, it would kind of dawn to me that, so one thing that frustrates me kind of about our industry, and I was complaining about it, now I don't anymore, is just there's a lot of mediocre trainers, and that's probably the trainer geek inside me coming out. They were doing so well, but it's just because they could market really good, but what they were giving people was terrible. And that really frustrated me, annoyed me. And then I was having a call with a friend of mine, and he was telling me about how he, launched this product for trainers and it didn't do so well. And kind of, I said, oh, did you use Facebook? He's like, no. And did you do this? No. I said, oh, let's do it. I'll help you out, blah, blah, blah. We started doing that. I kind of got off the phone, and that was my epiphany, where I thought I should really like start to, do this and help those good trainers, because they just, I have an opportunity to. I complained about it for so long, but didn't do anything about it, and here I have the chance to actually help that. So that's kind of, I just kind of fell into it and just started helping people, but then realize my why. And I think a lot of people probably on the call have kind of had that point where they realized their why. And I'm still a trainer geek. I love talking about training, but this kind of allows me the opportunity to actually, help those trainers that are really good at what they're doing. There's not real sure, how to get that message across, and utilizing Facebook, because right now as you know as well, it's super powerful to get your message, your product in front of exactly who you want it to get in front of.
Yeah. Incredibly powerful. We've been running Facebook for our Memorial Day sale just this week, and we've added over 40 people to our email list. And I think we were talking the numbers last night. It cost me about $108 to do that. Well, I'll pay $2, $3, probably $10 really an email address. And these are people that are really qualified, right? I'm not just getting email trash on my list, but they're actually saying, hey, I want information on your Memorial Day sale, and they're putting their name and email in. And I signed up somebody today for $5,200. Well, that's just kind of crazy when you're like, I spent $100 and I got a $5,000 client, and I think we'll get, a handful more before it's all said and done. And so I'm going to try and get your PowerPoint slides up here.
Okay.
Hopefully, can you see those now?
I see a black screen right now. Oh, no, there we go. We got it. Yeah. No, we got it. Yes.
Should take a little bit. So we can go ahead and start running through some of your slides here. And obviously we've got, looks like you still able to see that screen. I want to make sure people can see that. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go through really the top 5 marketing mistakes people make on Facebook, and obviously I'm sure I've been making some of these myself. So this is going to be helpful for me. We're going to learn from you. So if you're ready to get going here,
I'm pumped up. I got up at about 2:15, kind of got my shower. Then I was like, all right, like I love this. I love talking in front of people and helping people. So I'm ready to go. So this is the most common one. This is usually so not capturing any contact details. This is almost always at this point now when someone says, oh, Facebook didn't work for me, this is usually exactly what I ask them. I'm like, do you ever capture their contact details? And that's usually a big, oh, no, I didn't. So a lot of times people put kind of something up there, and it's like, hey, hey, we're running this new program. I'm so excited for it. Just DM me, like direct, like people even know what that means. Ask your parents, or, ask someone that's, in their 50s or older, maybe, like, what if they know what DM means on Facebook? They probably don't even know. So right there, that's kind of a bit of a fail. Or they're just like, like this post and I'll contact you, or leave your email in the comment section. Well, really what you're doing there is you're saying, you know what, I'm going to put my business in your hands, an unmotivated, unenthused prospect that I've never met. I'm going to put my business in your hands and hope to God that you'll publicly put your email address out there, or maybe take action on it and not take the action back yourself. So you want to be capturing their contact details, not like, messaging them. Because I talk to people and they message, people that like a post about a program, and they message them on Facebook. Now, to me, that just, I wouldn't like a message from someone on Facebook. That to me, that feels spammy and doesn't feel very professional. And so I think, that's not the greatest way to do it, because unfortunately, I think there's still part of the population that doesn't really take us as a profession yet either. So I think that just leads to it. But capturing their contact details, for me, if I'm going to spend money on an ad, I want to know their name, their email, and their phone number, because I know that, emails can be quite powerful, right? Because I can follow up with some kind of sequence to see if they want to come in. And I know that's, kind of what you do as well, Dan. You use those emails. But I also want to make sure I get their phone number as well, because I want to get them on the phone and actually talk to that person and ask them questions and, kind of get to know them a little bit and see if they want to come in and try my services, not kind of leave it up to chance whether someone's going to take, action and maybe put their email address in there. Now, there's a number of ways you can do it. There's both free and paid. So, if your concern is, I don't have that much extra money, well, there's free options as well. You can use software like Wufoo, WUFOO.com, or TypePad, like as in I type on a pad, all one word.com. And these are kind of, they're not going to capture the email address and stick it into like your autoresponder sequence. So it's not going to stick into Aweber or, Infusionsoft or Constant Contact or anything like that. So that's kind of the downfall of it. But it is a free service. But with those ones, you can actually ask questions as well. So you can ask a few questions within that little kind of survey that you can use Wufoo or TypePad for. So, that's a way that you can start to capture their information, email, phone number, and call them and actually send them to a page off of Facebook to collect that information. Like I said, the downside is it's not going to automatically put it into your email provider. So if you have, like, I know Aweber, you have to double opt in for everything. So you're going to have a hard time adding them to your list, because now they're going to have to double opt in. But like I said, it's a free option. You can get started by using that right now. I know people use it with like really good results just with the free version. Now, if you wanted to use, paid, you want to have something so you actually get their email and you actually stick it into your Aweber, Infusionsoft, Constant Contact, whatever it is. A couple of options you can use. There's lead pages, which I use. If you are using lead pages, though, I'm going to warn you right now, do not use, and if this goes over your head a little bit because you're not using lead pages, it's okay. Just take note of it. But do not use the lead page URL. So you have your account. It'll be like, mine is like scottrockcliffe.leadpages.net, and then it'll have whatever my page is. Don't use that URL. Use the kind of download. You can download a plugin to your WordPress site so you can share it straight from your site. But if you're using that lead page URL, your account's pretty much going to get, there's about a 95% chance your Facebook account is going to get disabled, because Facebook terms lead pages URLs as spam right now. It's just kind of something that happens. So just don't worry about it. Just don't use that URL if you are using it. But lead pages works great. You can make these beautiful opt-in pages and sales pages that are real simple. Anyone can do them. I'm not the most techie guy, and I think they're unreal. You can also use ClickFunnels. Now that's, I use that as well. And it's a little bit more techie, but it's pretty easy for us to figure out. But then you can create your own landing pages, all that sort of stuff, where you can send people to capture their contact details. You can put some more information about what your program is. Or you can also use, I know that you use FitPro Newsletter, Dan.
Yep.
You can also use that as well. And you can, it has all the integration in there that you can actually put those forms out so you can collect people's information. Now, like I said, with that, the great thing is that you can tie that in with your email provider, so that as soon as they, opt in, they give you their name, email, phone number, that sort of thing. Straight away, you can be sending out emails to them like within a minute. you can send that email out and start that conversation. But, so you have the paid and the free version of how you're going to collect people's contact details, but you need to start collecting their contact details. Now,
yeah, I think Scott, I think this is really that classic, now we've put it on the internet, right? But it's the classic of, if I hand somebody my business card, I have no idea if they'll ever contact me ever again in the rest of my life, right? As opposed to if they hand me their contact information, well, now that's golden, right? And Facebook can be the same thing. It can be so much one way. If we don't capture their contact details, then in the end, we're really just throwing stuff out there, and we don't know if people will ever contact us.
Yeah, and it's funny you use a business card analogy, because anytime, and you guys are gonna get let in on a bit of a secret. If you ever see me at an event, you ask for my business card, I'm gonna let you know that I ran out of them, even though I brought none, because I want your card, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna take action on it, so I want your card. I'm not so. Every convention I ever go to, I always run out as soon as I get there.
I actually heard Bedros Keuilian, I think just at a recent thing he was speaking at, said, stop handing out business cards and start collecting people's phone numbers and emails. So instead of giving somebody your card, just immediately say, well, why don't you give me your cell phone number, your email address, and I'll send you my fitness tips, or something like that. He's like, then you have their contact info and you have control. And so
yep.
Kind of flipping that whole old philosophy of the business card.
110%. Yeah. And you know what, when people don't get it, it's like, Dan, if I told you that, by the end of the day, to get 10 new clients in the door of your gym, or you're going to lose your business, lose your house, lose your car, how are you going to get them? Are you going to email them, or are you going to get on the phone and start calling every person you know to try to get them to come into your gym?
I'm going to do both. I'm going to email every person. I'm going to call every person. And that's a great point, because that's what we're doing for our Memorial Day sale. People will say, well, what's your one trick? I'll be like, well, we're emailing our entire list. We're emailing our clients. We're calling our entire phone call list. We're direct mailing our former clients, and we're direct mailing specific neighborhoods. I mean, we are doing, and we're running Facebook ads, which are building our email list. So we're doing all 4 strategies all at the same time, which is kind of creating a snowball of clients here over a couple of days. So you need to be doing all of it. There's no doubt, again,
yep.
and having people's phone numbers means we can call them. Having their mailing address means I can send them a postcard. Having their email address, I'm in their inbox. And so if they're not sick of me by Tuesday, I haven't tried hard enough. I haven't tried hard enough. So.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the number one thing. If you guys aren't collecting details off of Facebook, if you're running those ads, you got to start doing it. Like Dan said at the start, you can collect people's contact details pretty cheaply. Now, the second one is you're not building both lists. So we just talked about how that's going to help you build your email list, but with Facebook, you can build a second list. And so let me explain this, because it might be a little bit confusing. So let's say you get 100 people that go to that contact page, that lead page where they can give you their email information and phone number. Now, let's say out of that 130 people give you their information, the other 70, they don't quite know you well enough yet. They don't trust you. They've never heard of you. So they're like, I don't know if I want to give them my details yet. Those 70 people kind of disappear forever unless you've inserted a retargeting pixel onto your website. So what that does is, so if you've ever been on Amazon and you've ever looked at a product and then that product pops up everywhere on the internet and follows you around, that's exactly what you can do on Facebook. Now you can't really fall. Well, you can fall around on the internet if you wanted to, but that's like another paid service, and that's a whole nother topic. But if you put that retargeting pixel on Facebook, now that's going to create a little list called a custom audience, and it's going to store all those people's details in a way that you can market to. So you're not going to know their name or their phone number, but you're going to know that there's 100 people clicked on that website. So now you can run ads to those 100 people. You can even get so specific that you can, if you upload people's emails into the back end of Facebook, you could say, don't show it to these 30 that just gave me their email. Show this ad to the next 70. So you can actually be creating 2 lists at the same time, because like if you're spending money, for me, it's about getting the most bang for my buck if I'm spending any money on marketing. So if I'm sending people to a website via my Facebook ads, I want to have a way to get a hold of anyone to kind of put up their hand. And to me, if they click on my ad to go to my website, that's them putting up their hand saying, you know what, I'm kind of interested in whatever you're talking about. So if it's about weight loss, it's like, I'm kind of interested. I'm interested enough to take a look at this. And then to me, if they don't take any action, it's only really because they don't know who I am. They don't know, like, and trust me. You hear that all the time. You know, people need to know, like, and trust you before they buy from you. So it just shows me I just need to get in front of those people a little bit more so they can get to know, like, and trust me, because I know what I do is really good and I know that I can help them. So you can build both those lists. And I know that's something that's actually we talked about probably, well, via Cody, like back in April.
Yeah,
April.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because if you use the pixels right, essentially what you're saying is now I can capture every person that visits my website that, you know, for whatever reason, and I can start targeting them on Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. You can run ads to everyone that's hit your Facebook, and it'll store that information for up to 60 up to 6 months, so 180 days. So
Okay.
if you put that pixel on and they've hit your site in the last 6 months, you can run ads to them. Now, That's where it gets a tiny bit confusing, but even if you're not sure about that yet, you need to get either yourself or your web designer to put that pixel onto your website, because you know if they've clicked on there, now they've gone from being a completely cold lead to now they're a little bit warm, because at least they know who you are.
Right. And the other thing that I think people that I've just learned is I can take my email list and specifically dump that into Facebook and run ads to just my email list, right? So, and
Yep.
in theory, I could, and not that I would want to run ads just to my clients, but maybe I did, but I could run ads to just all my former clients or just my prospects. So literally, if you are on my prospect email list, I'm going to be winding up running Facebook ads to you for as long as I want, you know, until you either buy or die, right? You know, so
yeah. And it helps out with that, like, you know, being everywhere. So if they're getting that mail out from you, if they're getting emails from you, now you're popping up on Facebook. Like they're seeing that you have this Memorial Day sale going on right now, and it's just kind of popping up everywhere. And then you kind of mentioned, you know, you can put your prospects and past clients on there. You can even upload your client list, your current client list right now. And then, because like I said, I like to get the most bang for my buck. You can actually like exclude them. So if you put them all in there and then say, hey, run these ads to all these people except this list.
Right.
So that way you don't spend a dime making it show up to your clients. Now, when you upload an email list, you're going to get, you know, anywhere between about 40 to maybe 60, 70% of those people, because to show up on Facebook, because sometimes people use, you know, maybe they got Facebook like 5 years ago and they've changed their email address now. So they might be giving you a different email address than what they use on Facebook, but still, I mean, you'll be surprised at how many people are up there, especially if you have a decent sized list.
Wow, that's great. That's great. I put another poll up, Scott. So if you haven't answered the poll, answer the poll. But again, this is great. So we're definitely reaching people that aren't spending any money on Facebook right now. 83% of our attendees today say they're not spending a dime on Facebook, and 17% are spending between $5 and $25 a month. And nobody's in the $5 to $10 per day category. So huge opportunity for people, and you don't have to spend a lot of money, and you really can control it. I mean, I've been spending about 10 to 15 bucks a day for almost a week now. And, you know, like I said, guarantee it paid off $5,000 this morning, and I'm sure it's going to pay off more. And I've got 40 new people on my email list that I can market to long term, right? So not even just the sale, but long term. And so big opportunity for folks. A few more answering the poll. Okay, there are 10% of folks that are spending $5 to $10 a day. So that's great. You ready to go on to tip number 3?
Yeah, tip number 3. And then with your budget, I want to give you guys a little hint. If anyone ever tells you have to spend a lot of money on Facebook to get results, turn around, walk away. Don't listen, because you don't have to. Yeah, like Dan said, like you shouldn't be spending a ton of money unless it's bringing you in a ton of money. You don't have to spend much money. So if anyone ever tells you that, just don't listen, walk away. So
buddy
number 3.
Buddy of mine, Scott. I think he's been spending I think he's now spent a couple $1,000s on Facebook, but he's been making so much money. He's had to turn his Facebook ads off because now he's got a trainer problem, right? He's got to figure out. He's like, we're full. He's like, I either have to hire a trainer or get more consistent. And We actually talked on the phone yesterday. He's in Wisconsin and just killing it in this really the functional aging demographic, the 50 plus, and targeting primarily women, using Facebook only. And his ad is simple: come in for a free workout, and just getting these women to sign up for a functional aging training program. And Facebook's been his source. And if you can spend $100 and get 5 clients, well, why wouldn't you spend $1,000? And so exactly. he's created a new problem for himself. He's going to have to get more trainers.
And I'm sure that's a problem a few people could be okay with having.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny, like that's not all uncommon that people are like, you know what, they run an ad for 2 days, they're like, yeah, shut it off because I can't keep up. I can't get in contact with everyone. So it can be, you get the right message from the right people, it works so well. So mistake number 3, you're marketing mainly to cold prospects. So you're putting out your marketing message, you're targeting by like your zip codes, your suburbs, your ages, your sex, all that sort of stuff. But most of those people have no idea who you are, especially if you're a new business or you're just maybe you're just a one-off personal trainer, right? Probably a lot of people have never kind of heard of your business, unfortunately, but this kind of ties in with the whole retargeting pixel. So they might come to your site, but if you have that pixel on there and you're creating that kind of secondary list, then you can market to those people and you can give them more education. Like I said, most people aren't going to buy because they don't know, like, or trust you. But Facebook is giving us that opportunity to find people that are putting up their hand and then sending out some more education stuff. So what you want to use is kind of what's called education-based marketing, is start to maybe run ads to these people. And they're not necessarily ads as we think of, but if you have a blog, maybe spend $5 and promote your blog to those people that have been to your website. Maybe spend $5 and send a testimonial. Maybe you have a post that's a testimonial from one of your clients. Maybe spend $5 to get that to go towards and send that to the people that are on that retargeting list, that secondary list on Facebook. Start to help them get to know you, see that you get results, see some of your clients, and just spending a little bit of money so that you're educating them towards the fact that you are the solution to the problem that they put up their hand for at the start. And that's going to help so much more, is when you start to actually warm these people up, because now you're not getting an unqualified person to come in. Because I mean, I don't love calling people up and being on the phone. I don't love that. That's like, it's not my most favorite thing to do, but I know I have to do it. But if I'm going to call people, I want to make sure that, to come in, that they're at least a little bit qualified and they're probably going to want to come in. I don't want to call 10 people and 9 out of 10 are kind of tire kickers. And this is what can really help with that. So I actually got an email yesterday from a client of mine who I'm helping. We're running some campaigns. So what we did was we did a little process where we warmed up the clients. We gave a bunch of prospects just some information, just some blog posts and stuff like that. Got in front of them. Then we ran ads to those people to come and try his program out for 30 days. So he had 9 people booked in that came in for a consult. 8 of them signed up, and then 2 of them upgraded from whatever they came in for. So 8 out of 9 people signed up just from warming these prospects up just that little bit more. So they got to know his business a little bit more. So when they came in, they already kind of felt like they knew him a little bit, because we've given them some education. We've shown them some testimonials. So they come in the door, they already feel like they know him. So that's going to save you a ton of money, but even more, a ton of time. So you're not talking to these people that are just looking for like a free workout or a free week, or they're looking for that, I know some people have had bad luck with a Groupon. I was trying to think, what's it called? We don't have Groupon here, but with Groupon, that sort of thing.
Yep. So
this is a way to help, instead of just marketing just to those cold people, you will market to cold prospects. But when you have that secondary list, now it's giving them stuff, and it's not always sending them stuff like, hey, I got a new product. Hey, I got a new program. Hey, I got a new program. Send them some stuff so you can really start to educate them. And that's kind of where Facebook is moving towards. Is they're going to help make the ads cost a lot less, especially if they're coming from your retargeting list. And they want us to push out more content, more education, more stuff that benefits the end user. So that's why a lot of fitness professionals, you hear a lot of people getting their ads accounts shut down. And a lot of times it's because all they do is just throw out ad after ad after ad about, you know, this program, that program, this program, and they're not adding much value to those people's lives. So that's you know, a mistake that I think a lot of people that are already using Facebook ads are making. I see that out of probably 9 out of 10 people, if not even a little higher than that, are they just mainly always pushing out to cold prospects and not warming people up. Now, the good news for the people that aren't using any money on Facebook right now is that you couldn't have made this mistake yet. So you're not going to make it like everyone else has.
Yeah. Quick question on the retargeting. So basically what you're saying is anywhere that we can track Facebook traffic. So like on our website, can we do that? Because I'm thinking, so if I send people to an opt-in lead page, can I put a Facebook pixel there as well?
Yep. Any website that you own, that you can put a pixel on, you can do that.
Yeah, now, I know FitPro Newsletter just added that feature, and I thought, wow, this is going to be great. So I can put up, you know, opt-in pages, or I'm interested, or I'll even put up pages like you're saying, the content based. I'll put up a page that says, hey, you want to see the mayors working out, the West Lafayette versus Lafayette pound for pound challenge? Click here, you know, enter your email address, and I'll send you the video. Well, now I can put a Facebook pixel on that page for all the traffic that goes there. So everybody that doesn't give me their email address, I can, you know, remarket that, you know, some other offer to them via Facebook. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, here's the best analogy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's you guys are getting towards summer, right? So people are starting to think about summer. What if you put an article that was like 10 ways to have your bikini body, or 10 ways to look ready for the beach? You had a blog post, you put that out, you paid to market that to the people in your demographic, like your zip codes, what have you. You put that out to them, maybe $5 a day, $10 a day for you know, 3 to 5 days. Then you follow that up with, hey, we have this 21-day program, or, you know, 30-day program is get your beach body in 30 days. Do you think the people that click through to read that blog post are probably qualified? That's probably what they're trying to get, is their beach body. Do you think that offer is really going to resonate with those people? Heck yes. Right. So that's a great way to kind of think about it. Especially if you serve up the content or blog posts that are relevant to whatever the offer is you're going to give them later, then that's even more powerful. And that's exactly what we did with Jesse, who I was just telling you about. We talked about, you know, getting ready for the beach, and then that's kind of the benefits of his program for the 30 days was getting them ready for summer, getting their body ready. But yeah, and FitPro Newsletter is simple. I think they even call it like Facebook retargeting retargeting pixel. Like they actually call it that on there instead of saying.
They call it that and tell you exactly where to cut and paste it. So I mean, you don't even need a web guy to do it for you. It's simple, you know. So yeah. Which is one thing I like about FitPro Newsletter, because I'm not a techie person.
Yeah, no, it's super easy to install that. So even if you're getting, like, you can go to Fiverr.com and get someone to do it for you for $5. It's super easy. So number 4, you're not using any video ads. Now, over the next probably 6 to 12 months, you're going to hear a lot more of this. If you just want to get your message in front of more people, just start putting up videos, because they're getting way higher reach. So if you're complaining about your reach getting lower, which it is for a lot of people, use more videos and put those out to your audience, because they're going to get a higher reach, even if you're not doing ads. But you want to start using video ads, because just the way our brain is wired as well. Like, have you ever seen someone on Facebook on their phone? They're just they're flipping through. We need to try to catch people's attention. So that's what the videos will do, because they're autoplay. But as soon as they move, it kind of catches our attention, and it does something within our brain to go, whoa, stop for a second. So that's a great way to start to get people to actually take notice of, especially your ads. So using things like testimonials, right? It's hard to put a testimonial on there and use it as an ad, because people might not read it all, but they might watch that video. Plus, it's a good way. You can't use before and after pictures, but you might have someone talking, you know, giving a testimonial. Then you might just span out, show a before and after picture, and then come back to the video. Then you can get that sort of thing on there as well. Video ads are and they're so cheap. Like I know you're running some, and they're like, I don't know, what are you getting views for? Like
two cents a view. 2 cents a view. I'm running something I used to run on TV for, you know, $50 a TV spot, and I'm getting 2 cents a view on it. I was like, I put this thing out to 2,000 people for like $10. You know, I was like, and the beauty of Facebook is I'm putting it out to targeted women,
Mm.
specific neighborhood. I can really target who's seeing it, right? You run a TV ad, everybody sees it, right? In fact,
Yeah.
the TV person will brag on that, right? Well, I'll get you in front of 50,000 homes. I'm like, I don't want to be in front of 50,000 homes. I want to be in front of the right 1,000 homes. And I see this, and you taught me this. We were not doing this 2 weeks ago. You taught me this, and I see this as the way for every local trainer to essentially do kind of the old traditional TV advertising, right? I mean, you're going to have a video commercial in the Facebook feed of the people you want to be in. And, just today, that gal I signed up to show you how powerful video is. Well, she goes through our email sequence, and like email number 2 is a video of me literally writing out our sales presentation. So guess what? When I get to my sales presentation, she's like, I already saw this in the video. She was already sold before I even wrote it out on the sheet. She's like, this is what I saw you do. This is what I want. And so the video had pre-sold her. And I have been telling trainers probably for 3 years now, you got to be putting up YouTube videos, put them on Facebook. And now the video ad thing is just, oh my goodness, because people get to know, like, and trust you, right? And we forget as fitness people, we're scary to the regular population, right? I mean, regular people are scared of us, right? Because we're these fitness fanatics. And so video can really help with that.
Well, and the cool thing with the video ads is when you upload it, you can add a call to action. So you can have like learn more, sign up. You can pick from those, put a URL. So when that video finishes, it'll say learn more or sign up. They click on that. That takes them straight to your sales page, your website, wherever you want to take them, so they can sign up afterwards. So that's what's really powerful about those as well, is that when they get to the end, you can actually insert the website you want them to go to and tell them why they need to go there. So that right there as well works tremendously well. I mean, because if they watch it to the end, you know that they're probably targeted, and now you're telling them exactly where to kind of what to do. If you want to learn more, it's just like click here. People know what to do there. Now,
have you discovered a length of ad, a length of video being magic? 30 seconds, 60, 2 minutes.
I've been looking into it a lot. For me, the shorter the shorter they are, typically the more reach they get from us personally. And then just looking at a lot of other people in a lot of other industries as well, they're saying between actually 30 seconds and 2 minutes. But for me, I like to keep them, 30 to 60, I would say, because people, attention isn't that great. But here's a little hint with when you do that, because they're autoplay, and if you think about using Facebook on your phone, because more people use it on their phone than their desktop, a lot more people, you got to tap that photo before the actual volume comes on. So make sure you don't really say anything important in those first couple of seconds, probably 3 seconds. Like if they need to hear something, make sure it's not in that first 3 seconds, because they're probably going to miss it because the volume wasn't on yet. So just be a tiny bit strategic on what you're saying right at the start. You want to capture people's attention, but make sure if there's something they need to hear, make sure it's not in that probably first 3 seconds, because they're probably not going to hear it.
Okay, great.
Now, something really cool that they've just in the last week or two rolled out is that with the video ads is that they're actually going to, because it's not on a website, so you can't put that retargeting pixel on there, but they're actually going to create, and you can tick, there's a little box when you create the video ad, a little box where it says, yes, create a custom audience for this. So as long as you get over 500 paid views of your video in that first 24 hours, then it's going to create a little audience of all the people that watched over 3 seconds of your video in your audience. So now you can remarket to those people. So you know that they watched the video. Now you can send them, maybe it's a testimonial about someone that just did your 21-day program. Now you got another list there of people that have watched that video about your 21-day thing. So now you can send them an ad about your 21-day program. So they just started doing this. So there'll probably be some changes over the next probably a few months to get this kind of how they want it, because that's typically what happens. But you can actually create an audience of people that watched more than 3 seconds of your video, which is awesome.
Okay. You gotta go through that for me again, because you just blew my mind on that. I've been running our video ads, and I'm running video ads of a really cool testimonial interview that I did with 2 local TV anchors. We were fortunate enough to train 2 people that were on the local news, and when they left the news station, they said, hey, you can do testimonials with them, use them in video, do whatever you want with them, right? So first thing we did was we filmed a live live interview with them. It even looked like sort of a live news segment. I'm interviewing them. We ran it on the news on TV, and I actually had people sign up saying, "I saw you on the news this morning," and I'd
Oh, wow.
have to be honest and be like, "Well, that wasn't actually the news. That was just a live interview, that was recorded 6 months ago." But so I'm running that as a video ad since you taught me this. But I don't know that I have the custom audience thing set up. So,
So when you set it, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, just walk me through that. Like I'm doing this for the very first time, because I know some of our listeners are like, "Wow, that's." And I'm looking at it. I have 4,624 video views at 3 cents a view. I've been spending $20 a day on this, and that's pretty exciting to me. But boy, it'd be more exciting if I was building a custom audience of those 4,000 people.
So it's so when you create that ad, just there'll be there's a little tick box right underneath where you upload the ad, where you upload the video, or you choose the video you want to use. There's a little tick box just underneath it, and say I forget exactly the wording of it, but it's like, do you want us to create a custom list or a custom audience or a specific audience on video views? And you just literally press the button and so it's ticked.
Okay.
And it's just it's underneath. So it's very subtle. That's why kind of a lot of people are like, what? I didn't know that. But like I said, it's only been the last couple of weeks, and Facebook didn't make any announcement, really, like any big announcement about it. They just kind of put it in there, and people were like, "Oh my God, I just noticed that. Hey, have you noticed that?" So yeah, it's just underneath where you would upload the video or choose maybe a video you're already using, and it's just underneath it. But for right now, you gotta have at least 500. So if you're gonna run a video ad that you're like, hey, I want to make sure I get this little custom audience built up within it, put a little bit of money behind it right from the start. So maybe you want to put $10 behind it right from the start, so that you're going to get enough views in that first 24 hours to actually create that audience for you. As far as right now, it could change because, like I said, it's just brand new. But I would probably put $10 or $20 behind that video the first day if you're like, I will really want that custom audience. That unless it's like, I can't imagine you're not getting enough views to create it if you spend $10 or $20, unless some weird thing happens. But if that's important, you at least put enough money behind it so you get that.
Okay, so let's say, just real quickly, I mean, I can use this for myself. So if I'm already running a video ad, can I create a new custom audience? Can I go into the edit your ad and targeting and create a new custom audience? Is that something you can do?
I know you can. So through the normal, so there's 2 ways to create ads. There's the normal ads manager, and then there's something called Power Editor, which is kind of like the advertising tool, kind of behind the scenes with Facebook that anyone can use. I know you can always edit your ads within Power Editor, but I'm not sure if you could actually go and tick that box in the ads manager. I'm not sure yet, because I always tend to use Power Editor. I never thought to even check that. Ads manager.
I can go in, turn these off, and then just reset up new ones. Yeah. So anyway, I think this is a huge thing. I'm seeing and because there's the learn more. So I've got almost closing in on 5,000 people between the 2 different video ads. I'm spending between 2 and 3 cents a video view, and I have gotten 199 clicks on one and 112 on the other. So people are clicking to learn more, which is, great in terms of obviously they're watching the video, they're watching this interview with these 2 TV people, and definitely capturing their interest. Now I just need to get that custom audience piece in there, and I can keep retargeting those people with all kinds of stuff.
And the best thing about knowing that they've clicked is that they made it to the end of that video. Right. And I think there's talk about they're creating 2 audiences from that video. Is that there's an audience after 3 seconds, and then there's an audience, another audience they create if they've watched I think more than 90% of the video or something like that. I think I've read something about that they're thinking about doing both of those, adding that other 90% thing in. So like I said, this is very new, but imagine that you can have a list of people that watch pretty much your whole video as well. So start using video ads and just get in front of a video camera and and film yourself. Like most people are pretty charismatic if you're in the fitness industry. But unfortunately, a lot of us are a little bit afraid to kind of put ourselves out there. So use this before everyone else does and kind of be the early adopter.
Cool. I love it. All right, last one.
Number 5, you do a one and done marketing, right? You just kind of, you have your campaign. So here's what I typically see from some fitness professionals. It's they put an ad out there and they're like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And then they don't do anything with Facebook for a while till it's the next buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. And then they don't kind of do anything with it at all. And they wonder why no one's kind of, joining with what they do, because they're just throwing it out there. They're just being pushy. You're just kind of being seen as pushy because the only time your stuff comes out is that way. Or what in my mind is even worse is that people are always just putting up an ad about their new program, Hey, we got a 21-day program. And then a week later, hey, we got a 14-day program. And then 2 weeks later, hey, we got a 30-day program. So then your business becomes the business that always has a deal on. So there's no reason to take action. There's no reason to sign up because I know next week there's going to be another deal on anyways. So not providing any value. So if anyone's familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, he's a crazy social media advocate, and he did the Wine Library TV and all that sort of stuff. He put out a great book, but it has a great analogy. It's called jab, 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 right hook. So he's basically saying like give, ask. So when you set up your marketing plan, don't just set it up just thinking, okay, how am I going to drive people to this offer? So kind of what I was talking about earlier with some of the other stuff with the retargeting pixel and using video ads. Let's say, for example, that you're going to run your beach, your get ready for beach program. So what if we plan that out a little bit in reverse and we said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to promote, there's a blog post for a week and it's all about how to get your bikini body. I'm going to promote that to all the women in my zip codes that I want to attract. Then the next week, I'm going to run video ads of testimonials of some of my clients, women client that are in that demographic, to all those people as well. So I'm building up those 2 little retargeting lists. Now in week 3, I'm going to send out the offer to them about my bikini program. I'm going to send it out to cold traffic as well, but I'm also going to send it to all those people that I've got on my little retargeting list or my custom audience that I know have read my blog post or have watched my video, because now I know that those are my warm list or my warm leads, right? And then after that week of running that and doing my consults and that, maybe the next week I just go straight back into running another article on, hey, 5 foods to eat so to have a flat tummy. And I continue to siphon through that, and I have some kind of plan. So I'm giving, I'm asking, I'm asking. So it's not just that one and done. Hey, I got a 21-day program. Want to buy it? No? Okay. All right. Then I got another one. So have some kind of campaign, have some kind of flow that you're taking people through. So you're adding value and you're giving them the opportunity to get to know your business and warm you, but plan it out in a way so that you're not always offering just a program. You're also providing value. So a lot of fit pros have probably heard you want to be top of mind. You want to keep that TOMA, top of mind awareness. Well, imagine if your stuff always keeps showing up to them, but only some of the time it's for a program. Only some of the time it's to buy your stuff. The rest of the time you're providing value. You're letting them get to know you. So, if you went up to a girl in the bar, now Dan, you probably haven't done this, but probably Cody has. You walked up and said like, hey, how you doing? She's like, good. And you just like, so, I was just thinking, probably just want to get married. Just kind of cut to the chase, get married. Like, dude, what are the chances of that happening? Even Cody's going to get turned down, right? But if you went up and maybe asked to buy him a drink, there's probably more likelihood of saying yes. So when we're asking people that we have never met, that don't know anything about us to buy the first time, it's kind of like you're asking them to marry you, because you're asking. Fitness is a long-term kind of relationship, really, and that's what we're asking people to do. So the fact that not a lot of people say yes at the start makes sense. But if we're going to provide that value, if we're going to continue to buy them drinks, right, to get to know us a little bit better, then when we actually finally ask for a little bit more commitment from them, whether it's financially or whether it's just time commitment, there's a greater chance that they're going to say yes. So thinking of you can think of your Facebook marketing kind of as like dating, right? You're just trying to court them along and move them through that process. But think of it that way, because you're going to have so much more success. You're going to be giving yourself all that publicity because you're constantly staying in their news feed, staying in front of them, because most trainers, most fitness businesses are not doing this. All they're doing is putting out ads every now and then and can't figure out why, only 10% of the people or 5% of the people they run ads to or that came in to see them actually are going to buy, or that why 8 out of 10 people were no-shows to their strategy session or their consult. It's because, all you do is offer a program to them. You're not providing value. And that's the best way to position yourself, is like just the only person in your area that actually cares. So, I mean, that's kind of, that's why I left this for number 5, because it ties in some of the other stuff we talked about, but it makes stuff so much more effective. That's exactly like Jesse I told you about, who had 9 appointments, closed 8 of them. That's exactly what we did with him. We just have this flow where we just keep going through it. It's just like, here's our plan. And it doesn't always have to be like that, but there's different, we just settled a plan of how are we going to market your business like once a month, 1 week out of the month. We're going to kind of market hard to your program, but what are all the other things we can do for those other 3 weeks to really build up that engagement, build up their trust in you, so that when you sell someone, it's easy. Because you hear so many trainers say, I hate selling, I'm terrible at sales. I did the same thing. And that's just kind of, makes it so much easier for you. So that's the number 5 one. And hopefully that concept makes sense, because it works.
Well, and I think that's true of so many marketing strategies. People say, oh, well, I tried email marketing, it didn't work for me. And my response to that is, oh, well, how often did you email them? Well, I emailed 2 times and nothing happened. I'm like, well, I email 2 or 3 times every week all year long, So, the same is true with direct mail. If you send 1 postcard, it may do nothing. It's the 3rd postcard where the money is. And so Facebook's the same way. It's a consistent presence.
It's like trying to learn to ride your bike. Like if you're a parent and your kids didn't walk the first time they stood up, like, stuff it, just lie down. You're never going to walk. You failed the first time. It is not going to work. This walking work for everyone else, but not you.
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's. We've got a couple minutes here as we wrap up. People may have some questions for you. They can go ahead and post those. I'm going to post another poll here for folks if they're interested in you contacting them about your 1 day. We're going to talk about, since you are coming all the way from Australia, you're going to do a 1-day workshop the day after our summit. And I'm actually going to put the link up for folks. So if you just want to tell people kind of what a full day workshop with you would look like.
So I have an online program that, kind of when I kind of realized, okay, hey, you know what, I can really be helping those passionate, really good fit pros. I put together an online program that kind of goes through everything on from how to create better content so you engage your audience, all the way to how to run ads, that sort of thing. And then the big thing was that a lot of people were like, I got some of it done, but I didn't get it all done. And it's just, from a time perspective, I realized how busy everyone is. So based on their needs, we put these together. So it's a 1-day workshop where it's more about implementation than learning new stuff, right? So we sit down. The idea is we get in a small group. There's maximum of 20 people, because I want to make sure that we can be fairly specific with their business. And we actually create your Facebook campaign from kind of start to finish. So the goal is, by the end of the day, you can be pressing play on your ads so that by the next morning, you should have leads coming into your business. So we set up campaigns that actually work, that have been proven to work with a number of people, but we actually get stuff done, right? So a lot of times as fitness professionals, and I'm guilty of this as well, I'm sure at one point you were as well, Dan, was that you just, you have to do something, you keep pushing it off and you don't set aside the time. So what we do in this is we literally just sit down, we go through stuff. I say, here's what we're going to do here. Let's start doing that. Write this out now. Here's a template. All right, I want you to kind of go through this and we'll write your ads. All right, I'll walk around the room. I'll kind of tweak stuff. All right, now go to this page. Pull this page up. Do this. All right, pull this up. Do this. And we literally just go through it all. So by the end of the day, they're ready to run and you actually understand why you're doing it. And yeah, like the last, so one of the guys from the last one we did in April in Seattle, he just listened. He was one of those guys that just didn't ask many questions, just listened, did it. So he left the workshop and went to run the Boston Marathon about, 5 days later. And then after that, the next week he had to go to California and run some other marathon. So he when he went to Boston, he pressed play on his ads and whatever, and he knew he'd be home for a few days before he went to California. So in that time between the two marathons, he brought in $27,000 in brand new revenue into his gym, and he just ran one ad to just a block of women, like two age groups of 10.
Yeah.
So like 25 to 35 and 35 to 45, and he brought in $27K.
Can you see? Like, I put up your your 1 day Facebook training. Are you able to see that, Scott? You seeing that on the right side up on the screen?
I'm not seeing it, but
I think our viewers can see it though.
Yeah.
There's a click here to learn how to register if people are interested in your 1 day workshop. I want to make sure the folks that are going to get the recording, because I know there's going to be over 100 people that see the recording, that they can see how to register. So I've got that link there, and I'm pretty sure our folks can see it. So we got about 5 minutes left. Michael asked just to re-explain the lead pages thing again. He said, can you please explain why you shouldn't use lead pages? I don't think that you were saying people shouldn't use lead pages, but there was something specific about it you were recommending.
Definitely still use lead pages. It's great to use. Just don't use the URL that they provide. So Michael, let's say yours is like your page is called Michael Smith. So it'd be michaelsmith.leadpages.net / awesome core workout. That's the website you're sending people to. Don't use that URL. So you can either download, if you have lead pages, which I'm assuming you probably do, you can download a plugin to put into your WordPress site, or you can get your web guy to do it. It's super simple. That way you can host it on michaelsmith.com / 5-ab exercises. Or the other way around it, if you don't have a WordPress site, is you could do like a redirect. I'd tell you how to do that, but I don't really know. Again, I'm not super duper techie, but if you have a web person to do it, or I know a friend of mine that's how he did his. He just looked up on YouTube and found out how to do it. But just don't use the lead page URL. Use lead pages because it's awesome. It works, but just don't use the URL that they provide through lead pages, just to save yourself a ton of hassles.
Okay, perfect, great.
So hopefully that makes sense for Michael.
All right, we still got a few folks on. If anybody has any other questions, you want to, Brett says, like the shirt, Dr. Dan. Thanks, Brett. If anybody has any other questions they want to pepper at us here in the next 2 minutes, go for it. And again, I'll email out how people can register for your 1 day, Scott, but it should be there for all our viewers. There's a little pop-up box.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing too is they actually, I forgot, they actually get the online course as well. That like they get that included because like I said, it's about implementation, but I want to make sure they have all the resources. So they actually get the whole online course as well. They get access to that, which is lifetime. I update it every time there's major changes within Facebook. And then I also help them with the back end of their ads for the 30 days afterwards, because I'm not like the super businessy guy. I just really want to help people. So I give them access to me. So if they start their ads the next day, like, hey, Scott, can you go and see how my ads are running, see if it works well, tell me the numbers. I'll go into their back end and watch and give them feedback on what they need to change, whether it's doing well, what we should do instead for the 30 days afterwards as well. Because it's just because I want to help good trainers get in front of the right people, so that all these trainers that don't really care about helping people, hopefully we run them out of business. So those are the other things I forgot that you actually get.
Cool. Okay, great. Well, I don't see any more questions coming in. Looked like it was overwhelming on the poll that people wanted to have you do another webinar on Facebook, so that's great. We'll look at doing that sometime in the future. Hopefully not at 3 a.m. for you.
Yeah, as long as people show up, I don't mind.
That might be a little better.
I've had people before where we try to work out a time to do the podcast, and they're like, okay, we work out. This is the time I can do it. I'm like, okay, 3 o'clock, I'll get up. I'm sitting on my computer with a cup of coffee, like contacted them, and like nothing. That's happened 3 times.
That's a really cruel prank. Yeah, I'll be on. Oh, sorry, I couldn't make it.
Oh, I forgot. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks so much for doing this, Scott. We will see you in, I guess, 3 weeks in Phoenix, and looking forward to what you're going to share in terms of Facebook stuff there. Until then, hope you're doing well and safe travels.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for having me on.